Welcome to another episode of our real estate podcast, Hustle and Motivate with Cyrus and Danny.
Brought to you exclusively by the Pacific West Association of Realtors.
What's up? How are you today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I am so well. I want to start with one important thing today, and I wanted to tell you congratulations.
Why?
Well, someone told me...
Little birdie
just flew by and said that you got Long Beach, what is it, Realtor of the Year? Best Realtor?
Best real estate agent through the Long Beach Post for 2021.
Boom. That's so sick.
Thank you. I know I'm really, really excited about it. It's a good feeling. You know, it was... You know, honestly, I had no clue that I was even nominated, and then I saw my name on there, and I just went to town, and, you know, it's a contest that is for the people, like, through consumers and stuff like that, so I really just went to, you know, all of my past clients and current clients and supporters and just asked them to please go vote for me, and I freaking killed it.
Well, and a big part of it was you were like very, very, very active with it on social. Mm-hmm. Like you were posting every day, and then your friends and family and past clients were posting, and you were resharing. That was so sick.
Exactly. I mean, it was, you know, it's one of those, it's kind of like a hump that you have to get over when you start thinking like, am I being annoying to people? Because I think a lot of times when it does get tied into social media, a lot of times people don't want to post things about themselves, and they we call it at our brokerage a secret agent. Like, you can't be a secret agent. You need to be out there and show people what you're doing, what you're accomplishing. And, you know, I forget where I heard this from, but I heard somewhere that it's the person who markets themselves the best is the one who's always going to come out on top. It doesn't matter if you are the best agent or the worst agent or anything like that. It's usually the person who's going to market themselves who's going to have the most success. Granted, I mean, I want to be both. I want to be an amazing marketer, and I still want to be the best agent and provide amazing service for my clients and everything. But I thought about it in that moment. I was like, I need to be top of mind. I need to put this out there as much as possible. There's going to be a million people who are going to support me and want to help me accomplish this award. And then there's going to be people who don't care, and they're not my people, and that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And you ended up getting the most amount of votes. You ended up crushing it and killing it. And I truly think like it was really like a big part of your social game, and like your social media is phenomenal. I was actually talking to one of my agents the other day and telling him to look at your Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. Because you're on top of it. And I'm a big believer in like 80-20, like 80% personal, 20% business.
I was going to say that. Absolutely. I think it's really important for people to show, you know, you need to show people who you are, and then remind them that you do real estate. Yeah. You know, and more than anything, I'm a family woman. I have, you know, my husband, my kids. I have a lot of different hobbies that we like to do together, and those are the things that make me. And by the way, I'm just also a damn good realtor.
Yeah, exactly. And people, and that's the thing. Like, people work with people they like. So like, if you show them, hey, this is my life, this is what I do, but I'm also very successful in what I am doing as a profession. It's like, why wouldn't they work with you, right?
Yeah. I noticed though, I mean, I enjoy social media. I think there's some people that are just not as into it. I don't mind sharing my life. I'm not going to go every little thing of my day. I'm not going to go put it on there. I mean, there's some days where I do more than others. But what I've realized, it's just a matter of creating conversations with people. And sometimes, like right now, I mean, the number one thing that I'm getting compliments on, I put this whole story out there today about something that I learned through my business coach. And I would say 90% of the responses that I'm getting from it are people saying that they like my hair and they want to know what hair tool that I'm using. And the thing is though, is like, I don't care that they're not talking to me about real estate. They know that I do real estate. They know that I'm out there trying to provide value and be helpful, but they like my hair. And I'm happy to talk with them about my hair because I know that when real estate comes around, they're going to think of me.
Yeah, the goal is to keep top of mind, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like, they could talk to you about your hair, your shoes, your laugh, whatever you want to talk about, and
the silly thing my kid did.
Yeah, exactly. And the reality is like when they do want to buy or sell a house, or when their friends want to buy or sell a house, they're going to say, call Danny.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
She's cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's cool. She also has a great hair record. Yeah.
No, I think that, it's the thing that I struggle with the most on social media is videos. I don't mind having like my face forward on the camera. Filters are like a really cool thing, honestly. But like sitting down and providing like educational videos to share, that's something that I kind of struggle with. But I feel like you're a lot better than that. Yeah, than I am.
Yeah, that's like my main point of like.
Yeah, and I'm just like, videos. Look at this silly thing I did. Yeah. Like we have different strengths for sure.
Yeah, but I think also like that comes down to like your personal preference, right? And like what you get the most engagement with. Mm-hmm. I get the most engagement when I'm posting video and I get reactions and comments and so on and so forth back. So like I will continue to post that because I know what my insights are, like as far as like analytics, right? And so if you don't like video, then don't do video, but kill it in what you do, right? And like so on and so forth. I think we were talking about right before we got on the stories, right? Like just being able to have like a story always on the timeline is a huge thing. So like not letting your story die, which you're amazing at. I'm not so great at.
You know what? I just think if I think that's something, I also try to be really funny. Like if there's ever anything, like yesterday I posted about, Connor and I just bought a new house and it has air conditioning. We've never owned a home that has air conditioning. We've also, our new house has paid off solar, which is huge, but we've been going back and forth. We have a really good relationship, but we've been arguing a lot about air conditioning and because he wants to run it all of the time. And I'm like, no, air conditioning is really, really expensive. We need to let's open the windows. It's 80 degrees outside. That's nice. And he's like, you are crazy. We have air conditioning. Let's use it. So our electric bill came and it was $14.15 for cranking the air conditioning for a whole entire month. And I put it on my social media. I was like, you guys, like, do I just chalk it up and say, Connor, you were right? Or do I just enjoy the air conditioning and keep my mouth shut? And I had so many people laughing about that because I'm just being authentic to who I am. This is a day in the life of me, arguing with my husband about air conditioning, which I know, there's a lot of thermostat warriors in the world who get it.
Yeah.
I'm the thermostat warrior. I'm like
the one that just leaves it on and.
Oh no, I'm like, it's 77. It needs to be 78. Like that's it makes sense that it's more efficient the other way. But I got a ton of engagement from that, just being real and authentic and like, here's a snippet of my life.
Yeah.
And people love it.
But that's what social media is, right? Like this is why I personally, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I personally feel like having a personal Instagram, and then like a real estate business Instagram is not efficient because like if you have a personal Instagram and you follow that 80-20 rule, like 80% personal, 20% business, it's not too overwhelming for your followers, but also that's all of your SOI.
Yeah.
Right? Like your SOI is already following you. So why would you try to split it and have a separate business account? And for you're very good at that because your SOI is a good chunk of
I definitely don't have two separate accounts. I am Danny Femmel. This is me, mom, wife, realtor, all of the things that I do. I have that in one space. I do think, though, if you own a brokerage or if you have maybe a separate team or something like that, it is good to show, something on Instagram or something on social media showing that you have that business side of it. But I wouldn't have here's my Danny Femmel account and here's my Danny Femmel realtor account. Danny Femmel is Danny Femmel. This is who I am. Take it or leave it, all of it.
Yeah.
And then if you have a company, I think it's different.
Yeah.
But you're also not on your company website being like, I'm arguing with my husband about air conditioning. Exactly. It's more like real estate content, solds, listings, things like that. I mean, what I've come to realize is the things that I have the most engagement on my social media aren't when I show my new listing, my new house that I have. Like they want to see my kid be a disaster. Yeah. With covered in spaghetti sauce. Like that's the thing that I get the most engagement out of right now.
Yeah, and that's like the company, like for my team and my company, like we have like a company Instagram, but I use that more for legitimacy, like, and also to like.
Yeah, so when someone goes and looks for you or goes and looks for your company, they can pull it up and say, oh, okay, they're legit. That's all that it really needs to be for.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
And so that's why like that's a different ball game though. We're talking about like personal Instagram, like realtor Instagram. Like I'm 100% with you. Like Cyrus is Cyrus, and this is who I am, and this is what I do, and you're going to see all parts of my life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, I think, because now all of those people that are following me, my SOI, my sphere of influence, I'm going to be able to engage with them and go from there. So for instance, I get pretty solid engagement, like on across platforms, like, you're
so cool.
But no, because
I'm kidding.
I know. Well, I am cool, but the cool thing is like what I try to tell people is it's not about how many followers you have; it's how good your engagement is. Mm-hmm. You could have 200 followers and get 200 likes. That means you have 100% engagement. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Like if you could do that, that's amazing, right? So like being able to have like a good follower count is one thing, but being able to have a good follower count plus likes plus views plus comments plus shares.
Yeah.
That's what Instagram reads as quality engagement.
It's all about the algorithm. It's so crazy. Like you don't realize that when you have you have to not only do we need to talk right now about you posting stuff, but you need to engage with all of the people that you want to do business with as well, because Instagram sees all of that. And that means there was a social media manager that I had a meeting with. I've never hired one. I do all of my own social media, but she said that 4 words is the magic number. So if you put a heart on something, the algorithm isn't going to read it that way. But if you put, wow, this is so cool, Instagram is going to pick up on that and then start showing each other's content. So it's really important if you have a particular group that you want to get involved in, or people, or whatever, a company, doesn't really matter. The amount of engagement that you have with them is huge. You actually need to go on there and respond to their stories, respond to stuff, and you have to have a minimum of 4 words. You can't write, that's cool. Yeah. You have to actually do something productive.
Yeah, so I think that, so as far as engagement goes, I think that how Instagram reads it as we'll put it in front of more people, I think it goes saves, shares, comments, likes being the least.
Yeah, liking isn't gonna do it.
Yeah, so if you want your content to show in front of people, you have to get them to save it and share it. Like the more saves and shares you get from other people, the more your content's going to show up in front of other people on the explore page, so on and so forth.
I literally have never used the save button on Instagram.
Yeah, see, so
not on purpose, at least. Sometimes I find that little save folder. I'm like, what is this? So I need to be more intentional with that, for sure.
Yeah, because then you'll see more of their content, but also your content will be showed to other people more often if your specific pages, which goes back to as a real estate agent. Now, if you want a private page, if you want your page to be private, you can't do this because it won't let you have a business account, professional account be private. But you should have your Instagram as a professional Instagram. So it should be a business page, and then you could choose real estate agent or whatever as your title or whatever.
Yeah.
And what that allows you to do is see all your insights on all of your posts. How many people shared it? How many people saved it? So on and so forth. So you could know how to target that.
Yeah. So it's all in the numbers.
It's all numbers. It's all analytics.
Which is hard for me because I'm not a very numbers driven person. I'm like, oh, they liked my post or whatever. But to actually be able to go on there and see it actually hit this many people. They found it because they were either scrolling their feed, or maybe they found it through friends, or maybe they found it through your hashtags. That's all information that you have to know.
Yeah. And then so what I do, this is a little hack that I do. Before I post, I go into, if you go to your following, who you're following, you can see they split it up least interacted with, most interacted with, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So you could click least interacted, and then you just go in and just go to their pages and comment, message them. I will literally when I know I'm going to post something, I'll spend an hour where I'll just be commenting and talking to other people on social media, especially people that maybe I hadn't talked to in a while, because when I post, then I'm going to post onto my feed. It's going to show up onto their feed, so I'm going to get a higher rate of engagement. That's really
interesting. I wish I had a pen and paper right now. I didn't know about that. So that's for sure something. I also think that is a really good example of being intentional with your time on social media. There is something where you need to set aside an hour in your day, or not your day. I mean, that could be a little excessive, but an hour of your time somewhere where you are on Instagram, not just mindlessly scrolling, but going on there with the intention of communicating and interacting with other people.
Well, this is the big thing. People are like, oh, I'm gonna build my social media following so that I could get more deals, and I'm like, dude, like, if you want to do that, you have to actively prospect.
You have to actually work it. It's not just something that you post and hope that it comes around. It's like you have to do the ask.
Yes, exactly. And so and that's just creating conversations with people. That's why social media is so powerful. The more conversations you have with people on social media, the more in-person conversations you're going to have with those people, and that's the goal, right? So like for me, as if I can continually have, if you looked at my messages in my Instagram, you couldn't scroll to the bottom because I have so many, because I literally go in and just message people that I haven't talked to for years or for whatever, because I know that if I talk to them on social media,
I'm going to
show up on their feed. And if I show up more on their feed, my content's going to be seen. Now I'm going to be more top of mind, right? And that's kind of like how the algorithm works now.
Yeah.
So the more that people engage with us, the more our posts will engage with them.
So then I completely agree with you. And I think another thing to be able to take away is that when the beauty of social media too is that when you see, because a lot of times you have clients who are willing to share and do stuff on there as well. So when you see them getting married or having a baby or their dog died or things like that, you can use that to your advantage in a sense. I mean, of course you want to be authentic and feel for them for whatever that they're currently going through, but use it as a reason to reach out to them and congratulate them or share your condolences or whatever that it might be, or, send them a, bouquet of flowers or something, you know what I mean?
That's what I think, like if I look at it as like why I use social media, that's really what it is. It's right.
To
it's
learn
connecting with people.
Connecting with others. Yeah.
Right. Like there's people that I haven't talked to in years that I have on, let's say, Facebook, but I know what they've been up to. And I know how their kids are doing and so on and so forth, just because I see their life in front of me, right? And now it's like, okay, now do you want to create that relationship and continue that relationship in a more personal manner, or do you just want to watch it?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting concept. But so for me, I tried to actively engage with people and just talk to them, because at the end of the day, the conversation is the biggest thing. Because if you could get lunch with them, if you could hang out with them, or like you said, something happened, a big life event happened with them, you can be there for them or help celebrate with them, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge thing about social media. It's about connecting with people.
And I think that's one thing to really take away. There's a lot of people who are super uncomfortable on social media. They don't want to put their face on there. They don't like posting. There's some people who are just like, social media is not my thing. So if I could give any advice, it would be start there. Use it as a reason to reach out and connect with other people before you do all of your posting or whatever. If posting a picture of yourself isn't your forte, just use it to gain knowledge about the people that you care about.
Yeah. Well, and also what's the first thing that every broker since the beginning of time tells a new agent to do? Reach out to friends and family.
Reach out to everybody that you know. Tell them you're in real estate.
Exactly. Every single time. It's like the funniest thing. But the reality is you have that right there with your social media. Yeah.
You don't even have to pick up the phone and call if you don't want to start, if you're uncomfortable. I mean, you should do that. I'm not saying don't do that. You definitely should do that, but it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. And also they get to see what you're up to, and now you can share and go back and forth. And that's so powerful, I think. So those are my little tips on how to get more engagement and things like that. I'm trying to think of any other.
What would you tell a brand, not a brand new agent? What would you tell someone who just is uncomfortable on social media? What is something that they could do in order to kind of help break the ice?
I usually just say start sharing little things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For instance, I have a new agent. She has her daughter, and she didn't want to have her own, she wanted to have a different Instagram, professional and personal, and because she wanted the safety of her daughter and things like that.
Yeah.
I said, very simple. I was like, look, why? Right. And she goes, well, because then anybody could follow me on there. And I said, okay, if we go back to the safety of your child, right? You can have a different Instagram, professional and personal, and because she wanted the safety of her daughter and things like that. Yeah. I said, very simple. I was like, look, why? Right? And she goes, well, because then anybody could follow me on there. And I said, okay, if we go back to the safety of your child, right? you don't want anybody to follow you even on that one, because are you going to work with just anybody? No. You're going to work with the people that you like. You're going to work with the people that you trust. So if you're working with somebody that you trust, aren't they going to follow your private Instagram? Would you allow them to? And she goes, yeah. I said, so there you go.
There you go.
Right? So keep it private. It's okay if you want your Instagram private, work the people that, you know, and interact with the people that are on your private Instagram. There's nothing wrong with that. Just do like I always say,
and then you need to be good about actively adding and following people who you want to follow you back. Then.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just be authentic, and you can be open because you know all the people that you follow are right there. And then if you don't like to post all of them, just do a little bit. It's like me, like very simply, like I haven't posted in a while because I haven't felt the need or the want or whatever it is. Like I just haven't.
We all go through phases where we're super involved and super on it, and then but the thing is though is that you're kind of biting yourself because you got to get back in the algorithm.
Exactly. And so what have I been doing? I'm not letting my story die, right? Like I'm going to have a story on there every single day, whether it's just one picture, it's going to be there. You're going to see that circle, right? And like and that's going to help because people are going to start interacting with that. And then I'm going to, you know, I'll post something probably this week and I'll get the engagement because I've done what I'm talking about.
I do another thing to keep in mind too is that video is definitely the way that Instagram is trying to go. Yes. So if you're not comfortable putting your face on social media, just do videos of other things or like something funny that you see or whatever. I mean, it doesn't even, or you know what? Something that I used to do when I was a brand new agent and I wanted to make it look like I was busier than I was is I would find a vacant listing like somewhere near where I was, ask the agent for an appointment. Sometimes it was go direct, and you know, right now we got to be really, really careful. We can't go and advertise other agents' listings. I'm not saying go in there and advertise, you know, something that you're at, but there's no reason why you can't stand in front of a house and say, hey, I'm so excited. I'm going to go start showing this property and in West Garden Grove or whatever that it is. You know, now I'm just rambling. But the whole point is that you can use social media to your advantage in order to show what you are accomplishing in real estate.
And what you're up to. Yeah, so that's actually a really good point, too, about the video, because Reels are like Instagram.
I can't reel. I don't know how to Reels. I need to, like, find some little teenager to take.
Reels, like Instagram, if you put a Reel up, like Instagram's pushing it really hard right now. Like currently, you know, this is going to change when they release something else.
Tomorrow.
They're talking about, you know, we talk about, like, you know, the close friends.
Yeah.
So they're talking about doing close friends A, B, C, so on and so forth. So like you could have different groups of close friends.
So confusing.
So you could share with, like, let's say all
just
of your past clients.
Just when I think that I got social media down, they got to add. Okay, I think what it really comes down to is like, do what you can, but you have to be present.
Yes, that's it. Like be consistent with social media. Like how you're gonna grow your following, how you're gonna grow the people that are there for you, your SOI, so on and so forth. Just be consistent. If you're consistent,
don't let it get overwhelming, because you can easily get so overwhelmed. There's social media, you know, people that know everything about, and I am just not one of them. But the one thing I can do is show up and be consistent, and that's the key.
Yeah, be consistent. Don't worry about how many followers you have, because
no one cares what you look like.
Literally, don't. Yeah, yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair looks weird, and I'm like, no one cares. No one's looking at your hair, Danielle. Just post it. Well, actually, this time.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then everybody commented on your. No, but like it's very true. Like no one like. We're more insecure about how we look and everything than anything. Like half the time I'm like, oh my gosh, and then no one notices.
No.
If I don't bring it up, no one notices.
Well, right? I'm going to notice. I'm going to hold you accountable this week. I'm going to make sure that you post a story every day.
I'm telling you, you won't see it die. I will have a story. Okay. I just posted one right now, so I got 24
I'm just saying, I got my eye on you.
All right, perfect. You're awesome.
You are.
And congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Cyrus Andre,
at Danny Femmel, and at PacWest Realtors.
Keep hustling
and stay motivated. We want to remind everyone that these opinions are our own and may not reflect those of the association.